different track compared to the one we were on last week. Silverstone, one of the fastest. The Hungaroring, the second slowest on the ZRL schedule for this season, only behind Singapore. It's a maximum downforce venue. There's not many places to overtake, and it has been described.
Yeah, okay, now it works. Yeah,
Yeah,
it works. Yeah,
we
yeah.
see
Uh,
lap times here in Hungary already in the 1 minute 15 bracket to start the day. We see Beamerangi, also known as Anand Trivedi, one of the last drivers to set a lap time here. The Haas team principal. Can he go straight to the top of the charts? It will be a tough task, but he can do it. So far, the order is Logan Dukes from Wild Poros, from Max, Dan, Mateo, Nick Hamrick, aka Mr. Baby, Grid Jokes, Duncan McCamick, and the other Red Bull. Batodiskin down in 9th, Campbell Lowry Hart in 10th, combined YouTuber in 11th. Not a great lap for him as he spins around the final corner. NVA Let's Talk Golf, the Alpha Tauri reserve driver for this week. Steven Alvarez is your last driver to set a time, as Nathan Doan is reaching the end of his lap. What time will it be for the McLaren driver? It's a 1 minute 16.3. That puts him 12th.
Pretty nice lap for Nathan, and also sorry for that little technical difficulties. OBS just decided to change all of my audio sources to like default, and yeah, we had no audio for like the last 2 to 4 minutes, but anyways, we are now back. Yeah.
Truly back in the game.
Exactly. As we see. Okay, Matteo is starting the hot lap right now. So I think we should take a little on board on him as he goes.
Right on board with a child prodigy. He was incredibly quick in Division 2 last season, remember? Incredibly quick, and he has potential to win it here. Let's see. He's half a tenth down in the first sector as he goes to turn 4. That is the closest he can get to a clean lap without invalidating. Through turn number 5, and then into the tight chicane of 6 and 7, bouncing over those curbs. Okay, and then ramming over that, and then heading into 9. It's a pretty fast section here. Lots of understeer though. The front tires don't really like it, and then as he heads down into turn 11, this is the other fastest part of the track. He goes a little bit deep at the apex. He's nearly 70 milliseconds up on his time as he heads into the long double hairpin of 13 and 14. Right now, it's down to 30 and about 100 kilometers an hour through here, and then it's one very long uphill final corner to end the lap, and that is a very wide line. Let's see what it's going to be. It's a 1:15.6, and that's 4th.
Nice one from him. Next one will be the Alpine team principal, Ethan Patel. Let's see what he could do. He can do. It's probably be like a
on the line.
15 maybe. Nice.
1:15.7.
Very nice lap. Nice, good just goes over the line.
Red Joke starting his lap, then the other
Yes.
Ferrari driver. Picked a little bit low. A bit of a sleeper pick, the Singaporean driver, who he's shown a lot of pace, but just hasn't shown it on a consistent basis, and that's what he needs to be doing more often. He goes down into turn 2. Lots of throttle on the way out here. It's very understeery, and heading up the hill into turn 4, and this is where a lap could be made or broken. He goes half a tenth up in the first sector, goes firing it through a beautiful line as he heads into turn 5. Over the curbs at turn number 5 there, and then braking hard for turn 6, 7. It's a tight chicane, hopping over those curbs. On the gas again as Logan Dukes goes fastest with a 1:15.305 to turn 8 and 9, and then into the flat kink of 10 before preparing a slight lift into 11. The only slight lift. Ooh, and he's out of shape, and that's not the lap, and that lap is aborted.
Unfortunate from him. As you see, Max probably. That's. I think Ethan Patel going into the pits, if I'm right. Yeah, he's going into the pits.
That's down board with combined YouTuber, who's down in 15th a bit. Another weak quality so far. He hasn't had the best one lap pace last week, and not this. It doesn't look like he's quite on it this week either. Through the fast chicane of 8 and 9, it's a lot of understeer here. It's easy to run wide. Going into 10, and then a slight lift or dab of the brakes for 11. It is beautiful. And he's a 10th and a half up, which wouldn't actually gain him any places. At Stephen Alvarez gets a 5-place penalty.
Okay. I think he
We
might.
see on YouTuber end his lap. Made a bit of contact with NBA, breaking off his end plate there.
Yeah.
YouTuber up to the line. He stays 15th. He'll need to improve on that.
Yeah, let's talk about the Steam Owners incident again. I think, as he said it, that he probably impeded NBA, so there might be an afterwards report for that. And NBA probably, yeah, he's going in the pits.
He's coming into the pits. Down board with Duncan McCamick here. He's down to 6th here for turn 11. He's all over that apex. He's purple into the middle sector. What about the final part of the lap? This is where, if you're overheating, the lap is in the garbage bin. So he heads to turn 13. No, Twitch is a very stable line. A bit of a stop on the rear there, but it's all controlled. It's all careful as he heads out up the final corner to end his lap. It would be P8 with a 1 minute 15.829. As Dan ends his lap, he stays 6th with a 1:15.615. And it's down with Potato Skin as Nathan Doan in the McLaren sticking it right up there, and so is Nick Hamrick in the Williams. They've both stuck it up there in 3rd and 4th. That's some great performances from these two. And Potato Skin, not a lot of battery. He's half a second up though. Be the lap he needs here. He has the fuel for it, but he doesn't have the much battery to help. But off that final, the second last hairpin, one more corner. It's a long hairpin up the hill. Easy to spin here, up to the line. It's a 1:15.8.
Probably got time for another run.
Or Campbell Laurie Hart. Yeah, 4 minutes. They've all got time for one more. Campbell Laurie Hart here, down at 14th. And he's gone on to the grass at turn number 7. That's completely ruined his lap. And I think that means he will have another crack at it. He's got the time, and we have a Red Bull coming into the pits. It's Duncan McCamick.
OG is starting as well, not surprisingly, even though this might be, yeah, this is probably his last run with 3.20 minutes on the clock.
Doesn't have much. Doesn't have much in the way of battery. Down a second for turn 2, up on the power. It is flat up the hill into 4. He's a 10th up. It's right into turn 4. A little bit more cautious than those drivers, can get a little bit less speed, but he's not about at it, and that's what really gives you the lap time here. Down to 3rd for the chicane. Not clipping much of those curbs, not taking as much of the exit curbs, but anyway, it's a solid first sector, it's a solid run to the middle sector. He might be leaving a little bit on the table, but let's see. Turn 11, nearly flat out of the tiny lift. He's a 10th up on his time as he heads down into the final 3 turns. He's gone a little deep at 12, no invalidation. And he's down to 2nd for turn 12. He's up on the curb, actually, and it's a very wide exit into the final turn, down to 3rd gear, and then up into 4th, and then up into 5th. As he crosses the race activation, he stays 15.
That's probably, yeah, that's gonna be it for him as he retires on
Gonna be it, yeah.
Pretty surprisingly. As does, what is his name actually? Fiji Dumo?
Yeah, retires as well.
Interesting.
See, combined YouTuber here is down in 17th, and that's really not a great qualifying for the Australian driver. He needs here to get the lap of his life if he wants to make up any places. It's it's something in the region of half a second if he needs to get up into that top 10, and arguably even more if he wants to get up to the top 8. Stay on board with him. It hasn't been the greatest of quality laps. There's a lot of traffic, and he's done a good job of actually sorting his way through that. He goes round the final corner to begin a lap of the Hungaroring, and here we go. Describe a lap of the circuit. Heading down the pit straight, dropping a little bit into turn 1, braking just after 100 meters. It's right down to second, up into third gear, if you so wish, and it is a tight hairpin anyway. Down the hill into turn 2, it's a very understeery corner, off camber, but you have to take advantage. You're going to get dropped downhill on the exit through turn 3. This is easy, flat in the dry, and then it'll run up the hill into turn number 4. He's 10th up combined YouTuber as he heads into 4. It's easy to get pinged for track limits. He doesn't do so. Into turn number 5. It's also easy to get pinged for track limits here. Arguably not as easy in the game. Through the chicane of 6 and 7, bouncing over those curbs and getting the line spot on. Not as much apex curb. Anyway, through 8, 9, it's all medium to high speed here, about 100 miles an hour before entering into 10, flat out here, and then 11. It all depends on the line. A little bit cautious, but he's 3 tenths up, which could get him a little bit up to about Grid Joke's pace at the minute. He heads into the final 3 turns here in Hungary. Down to second, up into third as he goes up the hill through turn number 13. And through the final corner, it is a very long right hand with the tires screaming for help. Goes up to the line. Where will this put him? That's only 16th place.
Yeah,
that's not a good lap.
Not a pretty good lap
That's a disappointment.
Yeah.
That's a disappointment. We see Grid Jokes up into 10th. He's not really on a lap. Ethan Patel is on a lap here as we see Matteo and Dan have crossed the line. X-Max up to the line. He goes onto the front row as Logan Dukes in the 1 minute 15.0 bracket. Let's keep our eyes up. Patodiskin ends his lap 1:15.5. Ranger in the Haas here sends it to turn 11. He's about 10 milliseconds up on his time, being right to turn number 12, and then he's got 2 corners to navigate before ending his run. What can the Haas driver do? It's straight through 13, and then through 14, it's a long one, trailing the brakes in. It's on the power as early as possible, up to the line. He stays 9th, losing a bit of time in the end there. Good Jokes comes into the pits, so does Matteo, who is actually AI. And that's your grid order for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Logan Dukes on pole by over 3/10 of a second at one of the shortest circuits off the calendar. That is a massive statement right there. Logan Dukes starts from pole here in Hungary. From X-Max, Wild Porus, Ethan Patel in the Alpine up in 4th. Nick Hamrick, Nathan Doan, Matteo the lead Ferrari down in 7th. Dan in 8th, Ranger in 9th, Patodiskin down in 10th, Jack Fletcher in 11th. It's an all-Canadian 9, 10, 11. Grid Jokes down in 12th. Beamer and G in, aka Anand Trivedi in 13th. Duncan McCamick massively below where I personally, or many other people, expect him to be down in 14th. Campbell Lowry Hart / OJ in 15th. Combined YouTuber down in 16th. That's not a great qualifying. Let's Talk Golf in 17th. NVA in 8th. And Steven Alvarez is the slowest driver to set a time with a 1:17.3. And Fiji Damo yet to set a time. We'll be ready for the 35 laps of Budapest here today. Eruption, who do you think will win this race?
I think it's either gonna be Logan or one of the Mercedes, to be fair.
I think if Logan Dukes really has that quality pace, it'll be him by a mile. 3.5 tenths at one of the shortest tracks on the entire calendar is a pretty big statement. 75-second lap time and he's put it on pole by nearly 4 tenths. That's a massive statement to Mercedes there.
Exactly, and also they have the kinda upper hand because they are in second and third position. As did I got disconnected from the lobby?
Everyone's left the session.
I think we're gonna restart.
I think we're getting a restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to get a restart because another driver joined the lobby.
Oh, because someone random joined. It's interesting.
Yeah, random joined the lobby. The Fiji Domo in the end was actually random.
Interesting.